Alrighty, we're getting down to just the last little bit before our next trip to Disney World, and I just thought I might tell you how an old gal plans to go to Disney World. Taxi dust! Here's a quick rundown of the video if you don't want to watch me ramble on. Number 1, make sure you can find a small resort outside the Disney bubble. You want to be able to save your steps. I don't want to walk 2 miles to my hotel room every day. This is why I like staying outside the bubble. And number 2, I'm old. I can only do very few park days on one trip for it to be a vacation. And third, book those character meals outside the parks and make a day of it at the resorts. And lastly, we're old gals. We like to shop a lot. We live in a small town, and when we go to the big city, we want to shop. I am getting close to my next Disney World trip, so I just thought I might share, how an old gal plans to go to Disney World, because it's not the same as parents. I'm not there with kids. I'm there with my mama. I'm taking care of her these days, and I love it. She lives with us. We travel together. She has survived cancer. I've talked about that before. And we're just going to go have ourselves a fun springtime old lady trip to Orlando. And you'll see what I mean about that. We are going to be there, I'm trying to think exactly, 9 days. And over that 9-day period, we are going to the parks, the Disney World parks, exactly 1 time. Now, what am I doing the rest of the time as an old lady in Orlando? Well, let's talk about it. On the first day we get there, because here's my little handy dandy planner, so I can look at it and remember what I'm talking about. On our first day, anytime I take a trip, no matter what kind of trip I take to Disney World, my first day, I go to the Character Warehouse. It's how I have filled my home with wonderful Disney items. So we'll hit up both Character Warehouses. We'll get to our hotel, which is, since we are doing this on a budget, we are staying at the Rosen Inn at Lake Buena Vista. Now, the Rosen hotels, there are several of them throughout Orlando. I think there's 6 of them in Orlando. The Rosen family were hoteliers before Disney ever came to Florida. So it's a really good brand there in Florida. I've been very happy with every stay I've ever had there. There's no resort fees, but there is security in the parking lot. There's 2 restaurants. I've made a previous video about the Rosen, and I'm sure I'll make another one while we're there. But it's just a great, good neighbor hotel also that is outside of the bubble, but still really close to Hotel Plaza Boulevard, which is pretty much what leads into Disney Springs. So you're still in that area, very easy to hop over to Disney Springs. As speaking of, we're not going to go to Disney Springs that night, but the first day we get there, after we've had a little nap from all our shopping, we're going to go have dinner, storybook dining at Fort Wilderness at Artist's Point. My mom has never had dinner with Snow White, and outside of Cinderella, Snow White's one of her favorites because it was the first princess. So we'll get to meet Snow White, Dopey, I believe Doc, and the Evil Queen. I have done this dinner before. I wasn't thrilled about the food, but I think I ordered the wrong stuff. So I'm going to try it again and maybe try to order the right food this time. It is springtime. My voice is a little wheezy because I literally have asthma and wheeze all the time. But that makes up our first day. The next day, not going to the parks yet, we're going to spend it at Disney Springs. On my last trip with my mom, we did all 4 parks. We did both the Christmas parties. We did so much. We were exhausted. We were running around like we was young ladies instead of old gals. We had the youngins with us on that Christmas trip. Anyway, we never got to do Disney Springs. That whole trip, we never went to Disney Springs. Not once. We went and sat in the car while the kiddos had fun at Disney Springs, but she and I were just too exhausted to get out. So, come on up. This is my little caribou. Yeah, her name's Carol, but I call her my little caribou because I care a lot about you, don't I? You thank you for the snuggles. Thank you for the snuggles. Oh, and kisses too, but oh, be careful. Mama's trying to make a video, guys. I got another one down here, too. My Tinker. Tinker's not very small, though. She did not live up to her namesake. She's a small dog, but she's big. All right, let's get back on track. That first full day we're there, we're doing Disney Springs. We're going to have fun. We're going to eat at the Polite Pig. My mom's never had the barbecue there. We're going to do all our shopping. And we're going to kind of relax and get over the road trip, too. Because you don't hit it too hard at Disney Springs. It's a great afternoon, but you get to rest in the morning, rest in the evening, that kind of thing. The next day, we're going to hit up Epcot, the favorite Disney park of old ladies. We do. We love Epcot because it's the food park. We literally spend the entire day. At Epcot, I might get my mom on 3 rides because she likes some of the Epcot rides. But we don't spend our day riding rides, my friends. We walk around that World Showcase eating all day long. Just eat. We love the Flower and Garden Festival. My mom loves to see the topiaries. We love going through the little butterfly garden. So we're just going to go have a grand old time at the Flower and Garden Festival and enjoy ourselves one day at Epcot. Now, that's going to put us onto our 3rd full day of the trip the next day. And I'm going to be pretty exhausted after being in the theme parks. One day in the theme parks, and I'm done, guys, for a bit. So that next day, we're going to stay at the Rosen Inn and enjoy their pools. And they have a little back deck area where you can sit under the palm trees, and it's shaded and covered. I'm just going to spend my day at the resort relaxing. Right next to the Lake Buena Vista Rosen Inn is a little shopping area where one of my favorite local bars is, which is called Kitty O'Shea's. It's an Irish pub. A lot of cast members hang out there. It's just a good place, near the Disney bubble, but doesn't cost like Disney, place to drink if you want a night out on the town. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk over there. We're going to have ourselves a night at the Kitty O'Shea's pub, and then we're going to head on back to the hotel, and we're done with our rest day. Let me look up. Oh, Thursday. I know what we're doing on that day. Yes. Then we get to our Thursday of our week, and we are headed to the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. I've booked the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue I don't know how many times and had to cancel it because it was a rest day from the parks. And it's like, I need my rest so much that, I can't even. You know what I mean? I couldn't even make it to the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. So I would have to cancel my plans. So this time, it's going to be the day after our rest day. We're going to be completely rested up, and we're going to be ready for that 4 o'clock Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. And the reason why I say 4 o'clock is because then when the show is done, we'll have a little bit of time to walk around the general store there at Fort Wilderness, which I love. And then the campsites. And then we will head over to the Chip 'n Dale Sing-Along. Another thing I've planned for a few times, but we've just never done it. But since we're going to be there for the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue, we'll just stay a little bit longer, wait for the sun to go down, see that Chip 'n Dale Sing-Along, maybe stay for the movie Under the Stars if we feel like it. And that's going to be our Thursday. And we still have several more days to go. That next day, we're going to go to Beaches and Cream for a 4 o'clock lunch after we've slept in, had some pool time, rested. We'll head over to the Beach Club Resort, which is attached to Yacht and Beach Club, We'll be able to head over to the boardwalk when we're done at Beaches and Cream if we want to. We could head over and play a round of golf at the Fantasia Mini Golf there near the Swan and Dolphin, because all of that stuff, that's all Epcot resort area. There's just so much to do over there between all those resorts. And that's how we're going to spend our Friday. Then we're going to check out of the Rosen Hotel the next day. But it's not the last of our trip. I'm going to resort hop, but we're not going to a Disney resort. We're going to go to another one of my favorite resorts outside of the Disney bubble. It's in Celebration. I love Celebration. The Melia Orlando. It is a 4-star hotel, and it is so nice. They have a lovely bar on site covered with umbrellas outdoors. It's so pretty. It looks like a rainbow up above you. They also have a lovely, kind of expensive, but nice restaurant on site that's fun to go to. Their pool is so much fun to hang out at. So we'll be checking in on there on Saturday, but we're also, before we check in, since we're, checking out of one hotel and checking into another, we're going to spend the day in the car driving to Lakeland, Florida. And if you know where we're headed. The Lakeland Antique Mall there in Lakeland, Florida is where you can find a whole lot of parks items, antique park items, artist items. There's a lot of people who have booths where they'll paint furniture or they just do a lot of Disney artwork. It is a great way to spend an entire day. This place is huge. I cannot wait to make it there. So we're going to go to the Lakeland Antique Mall. And then when we get done with that, we'll head back to Orlando. We'll check into the Melia Orlando, spend the night there, enjoying the pool, the restaurant, having fun. The next day, we are going to head over. We're not doing the parks still, guys. On our last day in Orlando, we're going to go to the Contemporary Resort and have a super late breakfast at like noon. Still call it breakfast. With Chef Mickey and friends. I know it's not the greatest food at Chef Mickey's. That's why we're doing breakfast, because, breakfast food is breakfast food. They're going to have some Mickey waffles, right? So we're going to go have breakfast with Mickey and all his friends. And then we're going to do something I do almost every trip also. I love to do a monorail crawl. Hit all the resorts on the monorail. Find my favorite snacks, even though I've already eaten. Favorite desserts, go to all the gift shops, riding the monorail itself, getting on and off. It's just fun to spend the day. And then if we time it right, we might just be back in front of Magic Kingdom to watch the fireworks from the front. It's fun to watch the fireworks where there's no crowds. You guys know, I've watched fireworks from so many different places. And then the next day, we're going to head on home. And that, my friends, is how a couple of old gals plan to spend over a week in Orlando with only one day in the Disney parks. I'm kind of excited. I'm a little excited. The countdown has begun.
Hey, come back, wherever you are.